Hey, everybody, welcome to the online book club. What if a transformational journey? The book, here it is. So, we are going to get started right away. Hey, Noelle, how are you? This is going to be very different than the show. It's going to be so casual and kick back, but this is a really good way to do it. Um, It arrived a few days ago. Awesome. Hey, Fawn. How are you guys? And you guys, I'm also doing this on Podbean because on Podbean you can actually call in and we can like talk to each other. So if you are on Podbean and you want to call in and talk about, your take on the questions we're doing for the day, that would be awesome. Hey, KCMR, how are you? Um, we can do that. Hey, Fawn. Fawn is now on Podbean, but you don't have to because you can also put your answers in the chat or your perspective in the chat. KCMR, today is you can ask questions on the show when I do the psychic show. Today we're doing a book club. You're free. Please stay. Join us for the book club. It's What If a Transformational Journey. I go live for the show on Monday at noon and Wednesday at 7 p.m. But today's all about this right here, the book, What If a Transformational Journey. We're going to get started with the book really quickly. If you have the book or you don't have the book, you don't need it because we're going to be doing, hey, Catherine, how are you? We're going to be doing, I'll read the question. So if you don't have the book, I'm not going to read like everything before the what if question starts because I think everybody can do that on their own. So that whole first um, part, I'm not going to go through that because if you have the book, you can go through that. But we're going to start with the questions. And I want this to be so interactive. So whether you're on Podbean or on YouTube, please put your how this the idea of this book with each question is to help change your perspective, expand your soul and your mind to help you grow. So even if I would answer the question this way, you would answer it that way. It's nothing, no wrong one, no wrong answer. And also, I don't know why I'm nervous and I can't talk all of a sudden. Um, um, and also like getting perspective for people. So the first what if is, what if you know that with love all things grow? So that is a really good basic first question, I think. So I'm gonna, and some of you have the book. If you don't have the book, you don't need the book. I'll put the question up so you can read it in your own. This side has a wait. This side has a question on it. There it is. So, and again, I channeled this whole book is channeled, and believe it or not, there's like 100 more of these. I could have done literally a second book, and I haven't yet. Um, but the idea was with this book that people could ask the question and then understand where that takes them. So, if with love all things grow, what does that change for you? And I know it's a pretty basic first question, and I don't think it's basic. I think it's pretty, it's a pretty big question because so many people, I think, in today's world are afraid to love. I think they're really afraid to open up and be vulnerable, and people think being love or showing love is being vulnerable And if they're vulnerable, they'll get like taken advantage of, or they'll be hurt or whatever. But what if it's the complete opposite? What if with love, everything changes and it grows and it puts you in a new energy? So, you guys, it's your turn. Start putting, let me put, hey, Fawn, how are you? Fawn called in. So, if you are on the app, if you're on the app, Podbean, you can call in and you can talk. I did accept the call, Fawn, so hopefully you're going to be coming through. Oh, there you are, Fawn. Hey, how are you?
Good afternoon, Toni.
Hey, Fawn. Good afternoon.
I want to expand on the first question.
Good. Go ahead.
I believe it's true, but I have to say that for me, the change didn't happen until I could actually love myself first.
Oh
I had
my
to
gosh.
first love myself and know that I deserve everything good. And it's all about love, but it starts with us and it starts within our heart, that is our purpose. And that's why we're here. It's for love. I'm sorry. I'm nervous too, Toni.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's good. Good. Yeah. You know, when I do my show, like when I'm answering questions, totally not nervous. I just like bloom, get into it. But for this, it's a little different because we're really expressing our inner feelings and our way of how we feel and think and grow and such. And again, if you guys want to jump on Podbean, you can call in and join the conversation, put your insight. So the first question again is, I think I marked the book, is what if you know that with love all things grow? So what if that's your true knowing? If you knew that with love all things grow, how would you change your life? Um, so, Tanya, today we're doing a book club. What if? And you can stay for the book club and join us and be part of the book club. Hey, Heather, how are you? And put your perspective in. Noel on the YouTube chat says, "I'm nervous too." No, don't apologize, Tanya. So the first question is out. The first what if, and so if you guys want to put in the chat what that does for you, where that takes you, where that makes you feel, or if you want to jump on Podbean and talk about it. What if you did everything with love? And I agree with you, Fawn. Love starts with the self. I've always said you can only love others as much as you love yourself, and you can only feel if somebody loves you, the amount of love you have for yourself is what you feel, not the amount of love they give you. And we've all had that experience with people who we have loved and they just either didn't feel it, or that we felt like we were going up against a brick wall, whatever it is. But in this case, if we know everything grows with love, does that change anything in anybody's life? Where does that take you? Catherine says, I believe this and was recently reminded how necessary unconditional love is, that we all need it and need to give it. Yeah, so true. So true. So what blocks us from giving? Hey, Sal, how are you? Is this the new I don't know. Sal says, is this the new Oprah book club? Well, I don't know about that. We're just gonna this is the new you guys' book club. Um so yes,
Can I answer that question?
yeah, please,
What
please,
blocks
Fawn.
me is that sometimes it's a trust issue with people and you've been hurt and things like that, and so you kind of back away and put up those boundaries instead of loving the unlovable and trying to still know that our purpose is still to love everybody. It doesn't matter where they are, right? And so that's kind of how I feel about it. I can stand back, come back a ways whenever I've been hurt or somebody's done something to me, but then I have to bring myself back into the big picture and realize that, hey, that wasn't about me. It was about them. and then we just still have to be in that place of love. If we can just kind of remove ourselves and look at the big picture, because sometimes we're just not in the big picture, right? So that's just
Yeah.
my opinion.
No, 100%, 100%. And you guys, if you want to jump on Podbean and call in, and I can have a number of people talking, apparently a total of 9 people talking all at once. So if you want to jump on Podbean and join the conversation that way, perfect. I know some people can't because they're working and they're, getting the book club in while they're working, and that's okay. Um, I agree, and there have been so many things in every single person's life that has pulled us away from that being of love, um, or being love, and allowing for it to expand us. And so I think that that's very true. But once we come back, once we say, okay, that was just a second. Here we are now. Let's move forward. I think that that really does make a huge, huge difference. But every time something happens and it makes us pull back, and I'm going through, I think we all go through things, but I'm going through something right now that, a lot of people have gone through, might, hopefully will never go through. But um and it really tests those limits, to be able to love no matter what happens around you, or what the reasoning is for it. It really does test that for you. Heather says, I'm hurting and tired, bad days. Sometimes it's hard to love yourself or anyone else for that matter. Yeah, that is. We do have those days, Heather. Everybody does. And I understand that, but I'm going to say this. Um, when we love ourselves, and we feel like we do, we really feel like we do, but let me use another word. When we accept ourselves, remember, we're not supposed to be the same as everybody else, and we're not supposed to be perfect according to other people, but who we are is perfect for us. So when we are looking at ourselves and we don't love our body, or we don't love this, or we don't love that, that is just not accepting of ourselves, not accepting of who we are or where we are. And then we project that other people would also feel that way about us, and we might attract those people into our life. So if we can just accept, easily accept who we are, knowing that every day we change in the mind, in the body, and in everything, then from there we can really expand and grow quite a bit. So you guys, how do you feel about that? What are your thoughts?
I have a thought. Sorry, since I'm the only one on here.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, please.
I can tell you, for me, this has taken me so many years to get to this place, because I was always looking for love outside of myself. That's all I did, right? I would look for a partner. I went from one partner to another. I was just always seeking for love in the wrong places. Versus when you can finally get on your correct path and put yourself first and connect in where you're meant to be, and you know your own worth and trust yourself and surrender to that, I think everything changes. And I think that then you get the right people, maybe the person that's helped heal you, which in my case is what happened. I found the person that healed me, because I was very cold and closed off because of the way I was raised, not getting the love that I should have gotten as a child. And so then I had to look at a lot of different factors, going back into shadow work and all of those things, to try to get to that place. But love is the most important thing, Toni. It really is.
Yeah, and thank you so much, Fawn, for being on there. Hey, good morning, Darlene. And you guys, if you, today is a book club day. Monday and Wednesday is the psychic show, but today is the book club. What if a transformational guide? You do not need the book, but you can participate and join in the conversation about the book. We're on the first what if. I think in a little bit we're going to move to the second what if question in the book. And again, if you don't have the book, it's okay. You please still participate, answer questions, or put your perspective of it, or get on Podbean, call in, and let's talk about these what ifs, because the whole idea behind this book that was channeled was to transform us, to help us transform into higher realms of thinking and being and doing. And I'm going to say, Fawn, one thing my whole life, as far back as I can remember, is I have always said there's only one thing in this world, and that is love. Um, People think there are two things. They think there's fear and love, but fear is just an illusion. So,
yeah, fear's the ego.
Yes, and the only thing that's real is love. So when we are in that space of knowing the only thing that's real is love, and we come from love, we return to love, that's the only thing there is, then we stay in that space of creating and expanding. So yeah, anybody else have anything to add to this? Anybody at all about the first what if? Otherwise, we'll move to the next one, which I'm going to start to read now. Um, if anybody, unless anybody else wants to. Oh, I like the next one though. I really like the next one. So, oh my goodness. The next one is hopefully thought provoking for everybody. So, part of this book is there's like a page or 2 pages to write. So if there's anything that you want to write in your book about any of the what ifs, either prior to or after the show or during, you can do that. That's what that space is for. And it will change, believe me, as you go through the questions and you're expanded, your thoughts are expanded, your answers will change, even to the questions that you've already gone through. So, okay, let's go to the next one. And the next one is, what if you create a world you want to return to? What does that change in your life? How do you do what are you going to do differently? What if you create a world you want to return to? What does that mean to you? How do you go from here then? What's your next steps? If we're creating a world, let's just say we come back to this world. I know a lot of people say, oh my God, don't say that. I don't want to come back here. But what if just, it's a what if, it's not a really, what if you create a world you want to come back to? So, what if you create a world you want to come back to? What does that mean for you? How do you live? What do you do? This seems also like a channeling opportunity, so the guides can expand on some of the questions. They are stoked. Yeah, and like I said, I did channel these, Sal. So I could expand on some of it by channeling a little bit some of these questions, and I can do healings too. You know what? Let's do a clearing for the first one, and the love, to accept and love yourself unconditionally. Everything in my room is starting to echo, so I know I'm about to channel, because when they're coming in, I hear echo, even if other people don't. So, and I think that's why my body's shaking, because they're trying to come in, and I'm like, I'm so trying to stay present in this that I'm not. I haven't started channeling yet, but first, before I channel, let's do a clear. They're coming. Here they come. Let's do a clearing. I say it like, like it's a guest I don't want. Oh, they're coming. Sorry, you guys. No, it's good. Let's do a clearing that allows for us to accept and unconditionally love ourselves. We're going to start clearing, healing, releasing this. Anything stopping or blocking this, any reasons, justifications, anything at all that has interfered with any love that we have for ourselves and others. We're going to heal, clear, release that, pull it all, take it, release it, remove it. Okay, here we go. So, if you are trying to create a world that you would want to come back into, what would you do differently on a daily basis? What would you do differently that would have you changing how you look at the world, what you do in the world, what you move forward in the world? What would that be for you? Hey, Fawn, there's a lot of feedback on your end. So if you're listening on something, could you please turn that down? Thank you so much. Okay, so you guys, what would that change for you? How would you live your life if you were creating the world you want to come back to? And again, you can put this in the chat. You can put your answer in the chat. You can get on Podbean. You can call in on Podbean. We can discuss this. What is it for you, Sal? Any thoughts on this? Noelle, Catherine, Heather, any thoughts? If you're creating a world that you want to come back to, what do you do differently? How do you live your life? Where do you start? What is that for you? And I know it's a kind of a huge question, but what are some of the smaller things? I know some people can't get past, I have to come back here. But maybe maybe not. Fawn, if you can unmute yourself, because I muted it because of the feedback.
Sorry.
There
Yeah,
we go.
I was trying to listen to you on my tablet and silence my phone so you wouldn't hear my cats meowing and it messed up. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. So you
cat's trying to meow. For me, I feel like that we should be the change that we want to see, and that for me, I like to really focus a lot on a lot of kindness, to spread kindness everywhere I go and just be very kind to everybody. And I believe in taking care of the environment and nature and all of those things so that we come back to a better place when we're taking care of nature too.
Okay, good. Good. Okay. Yeah, I would say that. I would say that's 100% accurate. And what does anybody else have? Tanya, if you're still with us, what does anybody else have? What does that mean for you? Or what would be the one thing you would do differently? Let's just say we're coming back, right? Let's just say we're going to end up back here. What world would you want to come back to? Noelle says, understanding who the right person is for me, also understanding more about who I am. So true, right? Oh my goodness. So true. Hey, one of the things I always say is date yourself before you're comfortable dating somebody else. So going out on dates with yourself and um, not literally out in public, but all the questions, all the things that you want to know about the other person, make sure you know them about yourself first. Make sure you understand who you are, what you love, what you don't. Um, and then what I find is you don't really care. That's not as important in another person. Hi, Tanita. Sal says, I would expand my horizons on trying out as many things in this lifetime in order to have in order to have more to choose from next life. Oh my gosh. Yes, Sal. Yes. So true. A world of kind people and less life struggles without illness, many struggles. Oh my God. These are awesome. Absolutely. One thing, if I was coming back, and I think about this all the time because many years ago I received the channeling where you, how did they say it to me, like where you leave off is where you return. So I've worked very hard on understanding the spiritual side of things, um, the angels, the guides, the worked very hard on staying connected because technology will change, everything will change, but that spiritual guidance and connection may not. That will always be there. One way or another, it's going to be there for us. It's going to be one of those things, no matter where we go in the universe, it's going to be there. So that's one thing I personally try to like keep expanding on is that spiritual side of things. But also, if you believe in past lives and you believe in reincarnation, I do, but maybe a little differently than other people, but I do believe it exists. There's this where you leave off educationally, where you leave off, on all these different levels. But let's talk about also the world. Like, what world would you want to return to? What world would you want to come back into? So let's see. I would travel more and not stay stagnant. Get out of my box, no wickedness or sickness. That's a good answer, Tanita. Do you not leave off once you fulfill your purpose and contract you sign? Do you not leave off? See, Tanita, yes and no. We're here by choice. This is my understanding and what I've channeled. We're here by choice. So we're here as long as we can handle and as long as we want to be. This is my understanding from what I've channeled. Nobody is forced to be here. We are here by free will and choice. So even if we do have contracts or agreements that would go, let's say, into 80, 90 years old, if this life becomes too much for us, we do not have to fulfill every single contract in that way. Um, so that is one thing that I have learned or understood from my channeling, and for myself and for others, is that we do, even if we have agreements that are not fulfilled, we do not have to continue to be here forever, like until the very last. We can if we choose to, but we get to choose the way we fulfill those agreements also to a certain extent. That's my understanding. Um, and think about it. There are things that can happen in life. If it just gets to be too much, we do not have to suffer through it. But not that the suffering would last forever. I hope that makes sense to everybody. I hope that makes sense. Let's see, Heather. So there's a lot of, I would do this. So what's stopping that, you guys? What's stopping you from living that way that you would want to live? And I know one of the answers is going to be money. And then I'm going to go back to the first thing, which is love, which with that expansion, you would be in a space where the money just flows in when you're in that space of love and self love and acceptance, because you accept everything the universe has to give to you, everything the universe could bring to you. And I found that when you make up your mind you want to do something, it just falls into place, and then you have to make that choice to do it. So if what you guys, Heather, Sal, Noel, um, what's the one thing in the way of you doing that, accomplishing it? What's that thing that you would say is in the way of that? And Fawn. I know Fawn's still on the air. If Fawn wants to jump in, or anybody else on Podbean. And today, you guys, is a book club day. Um, so tomorrow I'll be answering questions at 7 p.m. Central Time. But today we're doing a book club. What if? Transformational journey, and we are on the question right now, the second question in the book. What if you create a world you want to return to? How does that look for you? What does that mean for you? What do you do differently? Catherine says, Catherine says, so I'm trying to open my children's mind and understand that we'll still have a strong connection even when I'm gone. I'm afraid they think I'm crazy. How do you open people's minds to spirituality? Bring them to see me, number one, Catherine. But have general conversations and open-ended questions of, do you believe in this? Do you believe in that? Have you had that intuitive moment? Have you ever had that feeling you should do this and you just followed it? That's your guides, that's your intuition, whatever you want to call it. Start it soft and start it slow, and then open it up to them in that way. Okay, so Heather says her kids' dad are stopping her from traveling, and then the state won't let her move more than 70 miles. But you don't have to move to travel, and travel isn't always super expensive depending upon how you do it. Sal says it looks like, for me, timing, and that is a big thing too. Timing can be a really big thing in doing some of the things we want to do, but I find if we don't carve that time out, it'll never happen. It just will never ever happen. um, so one of the things, if I were creating the world I want to return to, like if you're creating a world you want to return to, for me, one of the things would that I would change, I don't know, that's pretty personal. I don't know that I want to put that out there. um I don't know. I'm just going to go with I don't know on that one because some of these things can be pretty pretty pretty, guys. Noelle says, I think I'm learning to choose people, a spouse differently. Yes. Choose choose different partners, knowing what to look for as opposed to how they make me feel I first met when I once I first met them. Yes, but these are things I had to learn. So yeah, we do that, don't we? Like we meet somebody, and what we don't realize, and I've said this on my show before, when we meet someone, the feelings we feel, that, and we don't realize this all the time, those are the feelings we have for that person, the love we have for that person. That's not the love they feel for us. Our feelings that we are feeling are the feelings we have for them. So when we first meet somebody and we're so excited to see them, and we have all those love feelings, those are the feelings that we have. Those are our feelings for that person. Um, and we have to kind of sit back and say, okay, if I wasn't excited, if I didn't feel this way, what would the real feelings of the situation be? And the excitement of seeing them based on our experiences can be like the questions we're asking them or the interaction we're bringing to the table. And if we just backed off a little bit, what would that look like at that point? How would that feel? What would that whole situation be at that point? So backing off and understanding that is really important. I think one thing, if I were creating a world I'd want to come back to, I'd start working with the education system and changing what they teach in schools. Psychology should be something that's taught from kindergarten on in every school in every country. Just learning about people, what makes them tick, what makes them do what they do. Because once we understand people, we can understand the whole world. In my personal opinion, if we understand people, what motivates them, how they work, and even some of the mental illness involved with people, if we can understand that, we have a blueprint then, because people make the world work. We'll have a blueprint at that point to navigate this world in a better way. And I think that international travel should be a part of children's lives from early on. I know people who have traveled with their family throughout the world from a very young age. They have a much better perspective and understanding of the world than people who never leave their home country. Just a thought. What do you guys think? What do you think? And then that opens us up to it's not as scary to travel. And another thing is like, and I know this is a little bit controversial, and I wish you guys put your things in, put your thoughts in, whether you're on Podbean or you're on YouTube with this book club. Put your thoughts in. What does this mean for you? Where does it leave you? How do you feel about it? One more thing that I would say, aside from those two things, is maybe helping people understand what really goes on in other countries and not leaving it just up to certain media things to put it out there. How other countries really live, having that expansion, and not having so many people in charge of us, like the GOV, for example, and the stories that they spin, for example. What's your guys' take on that? Where do you sit with that? So, all right. I would say, does somebody want to read the next question? Shall we move on to the next question? Anybody on Podbean want to join in on a call for this book club? Remember, tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central is when I do the readings. Today is just the book club. And you don't need the book to do the book club. It's just, I'll read the questions when we're ready to move on. I think we're ready. So we're going to go to the next question. And the next question is, what if you choose to come back to this world? Or what if you chose? What if not choose, chose? Sorry, my reading skills. What if you chose to come back to this world? What if it was a choice for you to come in to this world at this time And why do you think I'm adding to it? Why do you think you would have chose to come back at this time? What would the purpose have been? I like that question. What if you chose to come back to this world?
I can give
Yeah.
you my opinion.
Phew, that scared me for a second. I was like, who's here?
And I have to go soon. I'm trying to work too. That's why I was silent.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
Again, tell me what you said now. I forgot after I said that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is the last question, everybody. This is the last question we're going to do for today. We'll get back together next Tuesday. What if you chose to come back to this world?
Okay.
What if it was a choice?
Where I was going with that is I believe I did choose to come here. I believe I'm one of the chosen that came here to help humanity with all the kindness and the love and to wake up. I believe I'm part of that now, and that this is my opinion, right? Other people may not believe this.
No, yes, go ahead.
But I do believe that I was chosen to come here, and that a lot of us were chosen to come here to change the world, because we're trying to change the world once again, right? It's failed in the past and we're trying again. So that's just my opinion, that I did choose. And I think that we do choose where we go, and I believe there's lots of different realms, and then we choose to come back and be a human and to make things better, and that's what we're trying to do right now. Is just not really working out so well.
No, but I think, okay, so I get I think it's working out better than you think, because, and I'll say why in a moment. But yes, I do agree with that. If you chose to be here at this time, and especially if you're here on this book club, and you're on this platform with me, I believe it's to help balance and or tilt the system, if you will. But yeah, that's true. That's true, Fawn. I do agree with that for most of us that are here. I do agree with that. Anybody in the chat have a thought on that? Sal, Heather, who else is here? Noelle, Tanita, Paul. And again, you don't have to have the book. You can just give your thoughts on it. Catherine, it is one of those things, like, we did choose to come here. My understanding is it was our choice. We did not have to enter, but for some reason, we chose to come in at this time into this life, and there's a purpose. Now, the purpose doesn't have to be, oh, my nose is itching and runny. Excuse me. While I grab this big paper towel piece and try to get rid of the itchiness. Um, it doesn't have to be some big whatever thing. It could be something very personal, for something in your personal family. Like, maybe the reason you chose to come back is because you looked at the life plan and you said, yes, I'm going to bring these people in who in the future are going to do this. Or, yes, I'm going to come in and I'm going to be the one person in my family who does this type of thing, and hopefully, do this. Heather says she's a chain breaker. Oh, that's so important. Oh my gosh.
So true.
So true, Heather. So good. Sal says, I'm still trying to.
I am too.
Yes. Sal says, I'm still trying to figure out this system. I love puzzles. The system is a puzzle. It is. It's like the movie The Matrix. There are a lot of us that came in to be what we call the black sheep, or to break, like to heal or break the lineage, like Heather says, the lineage change, the all of that. There are a lot of us that came into, like, okay, this is the way our whole lineage has gone up until now. I'm stopping that and I'm turning it around in the best way that I can. There are those who came in to go against the grain, just to go against the grain, to not be the puppet, to not be the go along to get along person. There are a lot of us came in to try to figure out the system. Sal, let us know when you have it figured out so we can all join in on it. Let us help you with that puzzle, please. Let us help you with that puzzle. Um, to debunk the programming. A lot of us just want to unprogram what's been programmed for so long. But if we chose to come in at this time, and we did, we could have chose to come in for our parents or for our, you know, other members of our family. Absolutely. Heather says, I've learned so much from grandpa just recently and my mom. I never knew about our family. Oh, you know, back in the day, we're the people that say back in the day now. They were taught never to talk about what goes on in the family, what happened in the family, never talk about any of that stuff. So it's good that they're talking now, Heather. That's something very, very powerful. If they're able to talk, that means the tides are changing. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna bring up something. This is for educational purposes only. And it is, you can look it up if you'd like. There was a program that was being, that was created and being run by certain systems. Now, if you know, you know. This particular program supposedly could see the future. Like you would put in what's going on and they could tell you all the possible outcomes for any specific situation. And it got to a point with this particular program, they were putting in things, and no matter what scenario they put in, the outcome was the same. So it was the people in charge of the system were putting in scenarios of things going on or things they wanted to do and how the general public would react to these things. What would the general public do? So they would know how to, it was could see into the future is the way they were saying this program could see into the future and tell you. Okay. But it got to a point where no matter what scenario that, yes, Sal, yes, yes. Thank you for saying that in there so I don't have to say it out loud. So everybody read Sal's comment. But it got to a point that no matter what they put in, there was only one outcome. And Sal, do you know what that outcome was? Is. That one outcome is? Good job, Sal. Yeah, Sal's always on top of everything, everything. By the way, you guys, Sal does some amazing healing work. If you ever want to do that, Sal, I hope you don't mind me putting you out here. Awakening, awakening. No matter what they put into that machine that Sal posted on the chat, the outcome was awakening. No matter how they ran it, no matter what scenario they used, the outcome on this specific time frame was awakening. No matter what they did, how they changed it, any of it, it was awakening. So I think we all chose to come in at this, and we have many reasons why we chose to come in at this time, but I think that's a really big part of it. We're going to be a part of the awakening that occurs. And I believe that with, and I think it's coming a lot sooner than they could have even imagined. And the theory is that when they saw that, they turned off the machine. They turned it off and they started to proactively do things that would give them more control over us. That's just what so that's it. So yeah. Um, so yes, I believe that that is 100% true. I believe that that is why we are here. I do believe that is part of our purpose, why we chose to come in at this time, to not only awaken ourselves, but to also help others awaken in this time frame. Just by being we don't have to go around screaming, "Wake up! Don't you see what's going on? Wake up!" You're welcome, Fawn. Thank you for being here. We don't have to do that. We just have to be awakened. We have to be that love. We have to be that person, and people will come to us and ask us. It will happen just like that. Just like that. Okay. You guys, let's see. Was that part of the technology downfall of Lemura and Atlantis or more recent? Oh, as I was reading that, did you guys see the lights flashing? Oh, oh. um, uh, so let's see. Was it part of Lemura? No. Atlantis? No. I think I'm going to say this. I think Atlantis was awakened. I think they were just what I'm hearing right now. I think Atlantis was very awakened through the whole thing. And I'm going to tell you guys this. I know I say some really far out things on my show. I think those dimensions are still alive and kicking, if you will. They just don't interact with our dimension, if you will. I believe there's a part of me that they talk about these places like they no longer exist, like once upon a time. I believe that may still be a timeline that is going, like Atlantis may still be in existence and up and running. What do you guys, I mean, you guys have heard the stories about Antarctica, right? You know, Antarctica is supposedly one of the oldest civilizations there is, right? And the people there, that's why it's all blocked off, and nobody's allowed to go there. I believe there are a lot more civilizations like that than we know. They've changed maps. There used to be so much more land or whatever in the maps, and now there's only this. I mean, this is just, just who knows for sure, but this is just expansion thinking. What if Atlantis is still up and running? What if Atlantis is still a system? Let's call it a system. I don't know what else, a world that exists. What if that is the truth? What if it's still there? There are a number of different systems that are up and running throughout our galaxy or universe that we have no idea about. No idea about it. So that's what we have. Yeah. So, okay. Anybody want to add anything else? Anybody want to say anything else? Uh, Catherine said earlier with the last question, not this international travel psychology, and I wish I could teach people how to eat whole foods to help their diets. Also, I showed my son Ethan your book. I love that. Thank you, Catherine. Yes, you know what? I agree 100%. Not the nutrition of America, but nutrition in general, whole foods, clean whole foods, and what it really does. I think a lot of people don't realize, and I don't want to sound like this, people in charge of, what did you call it, Sal? Sal called it the system. Yes, the system. Thank you. People in charge of the system. I want to say that we have to go past what we're being told and really just meditate and or go into our own mind and open our mind, because the answer to every question is within your mind. The answer to every question is within your being. You're connected so divinely to that source, to that, to the universal source. We are all so divinely connected, and if we can connect to that, maybe I'll start doing a meditation once a week where we can just connect and and understand our connection and start getting information from our connection. That might be the next step of this. Okay, anybody have any comments or anything about the last question? What if we chose to come here into this world at this time? Anything about that, you guys? Nope, I don't think so. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to be back next Tuesday at noon. If there is a time that works better for everybody, please let me know. Please tell me, like, you know, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. might be the best time for everybody. Just let me know. I'm happy to work with you guys on the time. And please, meditation, thumbs up. Yes, 100%. Um, and please don't hesitate to let me know what time and day. As of right now, it'll be next Tuesday, but if you guys reach out and say, can you make it this time, it works better, we will all work with this, because this is your book club and I want to make sure it works for everybody. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. I look forward to the next one. Don't forget, I'll be on tomorrow night answering questions and all the good stuff that goes with that. Okay. And if you do want to join on Podbean, there's an app. You just download the app and then you can call in on Podbean and join in on the conversation on Podbean. Okay, you guys? Thanks again. Have an amazing rest of the day. I'm sending you all love.